Assalamualaikum and welcome to the FPL Jedi Show, episod keempat. Okay, sekarang ni kita tengah dalam international break. Okay, so akhir minggu ni tak ada match ya. Ini semua tengah international, ada yang pergi, ada yang tak pergi. So kita tak nak tengok lagi dulu game week keempat ni macam mana. Kita pun ambil break sikit. So kali ni kita buat special sikit, kita nak jumpa salah seorang pengurus Fantasy Premier League yang agak terkenal dalam komuniti Malaysia dengan pencapaian dia, dan dia bukan saja main FPL tapi previously dia ada juga main fantasy football games yang lain. Okay, so saya nak perkenalkan ini dia Encik Omar Azman. Assalamualaikum Omar, apa khabar?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Khabar baik, Azman?
So,
Okay.
welcome Omar to the show.
Okay. Terima kasih ya invite ya.
Okay, bagus. Memang nak sangat invite ni dari dulu. Okay, so before we start, so just a little bit of introduction on yourself. Berapa lama dah main fantasy football? Kenapa? Macam mana boleh masuk fantasy football? Games apa yang pernah main? Ya, macam tu. So silakan.
Okay, untuk official Fantasy Premier League yang currently kita semua tengah main ni, I started dari season 2008-2009, so almost 13 years lah dalam official Fantasy Premier League. But then sebelum-sebelum ni ada juga main ada platform such as Fantasy Football Yahoo, Stadium Astro dulu ada. Dan ada Fantasy The Sun. Sekarang pun still ada, tapi saya dah tak follow because too much platform. Kadang-kadang kita pun pening juga. So I just focus to the official FPL je.
So currently satu je lah main FPL Fantasy lah.
Yes, betul-betul. And nanti akan ada UEFA Champions League lah. Itu je lah.
Oh,
Fantasy,
so you also playing UEFA Champions League lah. Euro main ke? Euro 2020.
Euro main. Kalau ada World Cup pun kita main lah.
Oh, bagus.
Euro tu macam scouting untuk FPL juga sebenarnya.
Betul. Kita scout player mana ada potential.
Cuma yelah Euro and UEFA it will be different format sikit lah. Okay.
Betul.
But I think it's still the same passion lah to play football lah. Okay.
Betul.
Okay.
So maybe before we get further, okay, I think for the viewers nak tahu jugalah macam mana pencapaian ataupun career achievement Omar Azman ni sendiri. Okay, kalau kita tengok sebentar lagi, is quite remarkable pencapaian dia. Sebentar. Okay. If we can see here, macam Omar mention tadi, 13 tahun ya main FPL. Kalau aku macam baru 6-7 tahun. Min kau lebih sikit dia 10 tahun aku lupa dah. Ya?
Lebih kurang macam Omar juga tapi ranking tak sekecil Omar.
Tapi the most particular that we want to mention here ialah pencapaian Omar sendiri pernah mencapai top 1000 in the world ya. Ni bukan calang-calang ni bukan Malaysia punya, ni world punya. Top 1000 pernah sekali, okay. Top 5000 pernah sekali juga dan top 10000 dua kali. Okay, kalau you tengok mark warna merah tu tahun 2010, 2011, 522, nombor 522, 2015-16, 6039, 2017-18, 5525, dan paling recent sekali, okay, which is last year lah, the most challenging year dengan pandemic COVID and very unpredictable punya matches, is 1247. So I think to me this a good achievement and we appreciate you to join this session lah to share your thoughts lah. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe just for a beginning, mungkin boleh share to you viewers okay. Tahun-tahun yang warna merah ni, apa yang you do it differently sampai boleh dapat this kind of achievement lah?
Okay, yang season 2010-2011 tu actually saya rasa dia punya total numbers of participant tak sebanyak sekarang lah. Sekarang ni I think almost 7.8 million registered team in official FPL. But masa 2010-2011 maybe dalam 1 juta atau 2 juta. So the chances you nak dapat higher rank is much more easier lah. And during tahun ni tak berapa ingat lah, Suarez ke Ronaldo punya time ni.
Oh, is
So
it yang 522 ni?
Oh. Tak berapa pasti, tapi dia memang easy lah. Kalau masa zaman Ronaldo dengan zaman Suarez masa tu, memang kita letak, definitely kita letak captain 2 orang ni, just differential another 10 more players lah.
Okay, so Lampard pun ada ke masa tu? Is it?
Ada Lampard, ada Gerrard, ada semua.
So definitely you spoil for choices juga ah.
Tengok based on fixture, mana yang easy kita tukar, just rotate in between tu je lah. Then dia ada ranking yang top 10k ni 2015-16 dengan 2017-18 ni masa ni dah start ada chips kot, if I'm not mistaken. Sebab tu dia punya average point pun dah sampai 2003.
Okay.
Tapi it's a good rank juga sebab managed to finish below 10k. But the most recent yang I still fresh lah is last season lah. Last season 2020-2021 is definitely, I think, the average point paling tinggi throughout all the history, because kita ada game week yang triple game week pada lepas tu, dengan kita ada chips pun ada triple captain, bench boost dengan free hit. Because sebelum ni free hit is ganti dengan all out attack. But now yang all these chip ni yang memainkan peranan, easily if double game week or triple game week, confirm 100 point ke atas. So then yang dapat rank 1247 ni because of ni lah, kena closely monitor punya player punya status lah, sebab kita pun tak tahu masa musim COVID.
One question lah kan. Sebab ada tahun-tahun yang lain tu mungkin kurang daripada ni, tapi tak adalah kata teruk sangat. Okay, 37,000 ada 100 lebih. Tapi apa you rasa yang you buat differently, macam in order to get this 1,000, 5,000 punya place, you kena apa? Is it kena ada good start ke, ataupun tak apa, kalau bad start pun you can still achieve this kind of status lah, if you can remember.
Like if I can remember, untuk mula-mula for the first few game weeks, try to be play safe lah. Kita tengok the highest percentage of player chosen, so kita try to get as many as possible. For example, for this season, highest ownership, let's say if I'm not mistaken, Luke Shaw paling tinggi percentage dalam sebut team. Ownership. So kita, to be safe, kita ambil je. Just untuk kalau let's say dia score or assist, clean sheet, dia punya point tinggi, so kita still ada cover. Then Salah and Bruno lah, highest antara percentage of ownership tinggi juga. So jangan try to gamble.
Since you cakap pasal ownership, tertarik jugalah kita nak tanya kan. Adakah ownership punya percentage to influence your decision?
Yes.
Of picking players?
Memang influence. Sebab let's say you have two players, Salah and Mane, the same team, same attacking threat, tapi Salah 40% ownership, Mane 13%. If you want to go for differential, definitely you will go ambil Mane. Tapi kalau Salah, dia adalah penalty taker. Kalau tiba-tiba let's say dia dapat double figures punya points, meanwhile Mane dapat single digit and blank, definitely you punya rank tu easily can go to millions. Not even 100k ke 200k pun, but easily can drop to 4 million, 3 million. So play safe juga.
Okay, good.
I just want to point out
anything?
because I just want to point out because that the example that Omar used. So I did exactly what he advised us not to do. So instead of having Bruno, I decided to triple up and have Mane as well as Salah. Yeah, so that really hurt me. Although I talked to a million plus, tapi itulah. I mean, but it is the sort of example that you say that, you know, awal-awal ni kita play safe, maybe one or two picks yang a bit different but not expensive ones yang kita, you know, to make that little bit of difference, but otherwise you follow the pack at the start. So memang and it's panned out. So even, I mean, we're not looking at his team now, but I can tell, but as far as I remember that he's already higher than both of us anyway. Already. You know? So whatever his principal says, there's definitely merit there that we need to look at. So okay. So I just want to quick before we move on to your approach, but I just wanted to ask like anything you want to highlight in terms of good memories? Did you win stuff? If I remember correctly from our previous conversation, belakang tu, is that your trophy case? Some of it is fantasy football trophies.
Yes, correct. Betul, Azmin. Actually, I just move a bit lah. Actually, my trophy case for...
macam trofi kabinet lah. Macam club punya trofi kabinet.
Betul. Actually, I memang take this game, Fantasy Premier League ni as my hobby. Every week, I memang akan study juga, and throughout from the month of August till May, so hopefully every season tu at least ada achievement. So tak kisahlah in terms of football jersey ke, trophy ke, or games ke. So I take it as a challenge myself to at least every season I got something from this platform. So that's why kalau kita setting team pun try to not take too many risks, biar kita langsung drop, just to be at least dapat podium, dapat in the place yang dapat hadiah lah.
Okay, if I may ask you manager macam mana? Because kita everyone ada different kind of approach to the game, okay? So are you a type of aggressive, maksudnya take hits next week ambil negatif 4, lagi satu minggu ambil negatif 4, it's okay as long you got which player yang you rasa akan contribute a lot of points, ataupun you are more patient punya, ataupun yang lebih sabar lah kan, instead of mungkin save transfer tiba-tiba kalau tak transfer burn je lah transfer. So macam mana you punya approach?
I punya approach Fiz, actually kalau saya punya approach, negative 4 is okay, normal. If you want to hit negative 4, it's not a sin. Actually kalau you nak tukar satu player direct, kadang-kadang susah nak dapat player yang betul-betul yang kita nak. So negative 4 tak ada masalah.
So sebab, you will do, kata minggu ni dah pernah buat negatif 4, next week buat negatif 4, no hal.
Yes, no hal. Sebab negatif 4 is a small memang
small price to play lah.
Dalam rank memang negatif 4 points you can beza rank nombor 1 sampai nombor 5. Let's say kalau very close tight group league, tapi this FPL is 38 minggu Fiz. So you can gain later.
Okay.
If let's say you buat hit negative 4, tapi make sure berbaloi lah. Tengok dekat fixture the player that you want to transfer in, you can use at least for 3 to 4 game week. Jangan pakai untuk minggu ni, minggu depan negatif 4 itu macam bazir point lah macam tu.
Okay. Rasa paling ingat pernah take hits paling banyak berapa? You pernah buat negative 12 dah?
Pernah. Okay, negative 12 if double game week, definitely negative 12 tu macam negative 4 je. Sebab double game week, definitely kita akan try to maximize our player, at least dapat 10 atau 9 player yang main double game week, so that can cover kita punya point. Sebab double game week, if kita tak dapat above 100 point, it's a failure lah for me. Sebab definitely double game week, point free je, easily kita akan dapat minimum 100 point. But you must aim higher lah, at least 150. You kena letak you punya benchmark tinggi.
Okay, agresif lah. Ni kira boleh kata agresif Amin? Betul tak?
I think so. Because even when you say double game week, you mentioned that you have a target, a number of points. This is what I want to achieve. If I want to maximize the points in the double game week, this is what I expect to get. And anything less is a failure lah. Wouldn't it?
Betul.
So itu pun your transfers, I mean, you would decide which is the best. So yeah, so okay, so I would say he's patient, but then when the right time is there, he'll be aggressive.
Tapi Omar dia tak risau ataupun tak ada masalah kalau dia ambil hits every week pun kalau diperlukan. So kira agresif lah to me. Macam masa I macam a bit reserve lah, tengok kalau boleh bagi chance lagi player ni walaupun tak perform kan. Tapi it's nice to know lah yang aggressive can reward this kind of
Betul.
places lah. So it could give us a different perspective, I mean.
Ya, betul.
Lagi
so-
satu, sorry
Go ahead.
just want to. Okay, ni.
Ya, sila Omar.
Okay, nak beritahu pasal yang hit tu. Just take for example one game week. Let's say the average point is 50, but you got at that game week you dapat maybe 70 or 80. You dah gain 30 points above average. The next game week, if you want to hit -4 to improvise your team for the next following fixture, tak ada masalah. Go for it.
Okay, so you look at it that way. So because you've already gained a lot from the previous week, so it shouldn't be a problem for you to take a hit in the next week.
Yes, betul.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, good to know that. Okay, so kita akan tanya juga macam mana you approach the game lah. Macam tadi you can also be aggressive when it matters and also patient kalau kata perlu bersabarlah dengan player-player ni. Okay, but maybe boleh share dengan kita juga macam katakanlah minggu yang normal, seminggu kan, macam minggu depan, lepas tu satu minggu lagi, okay. Say 1 week ni before game pada hari Sabtu katakanlah. What kind of preparation atau you approach this game week? Apa yang your day life ataupun how you approach
Yeah.
it?
So basically, like from the start of the end of the previous game week up till the start of the next game week, you know, how much prep do you do? Do you do anything even after the matches are over? You know, or you wait until midweek, or you know, I'm pretty sure you're not the one who does everything on the Saturday. So yeah, you could give us some idea of what you do.
Okay, normally habis game week tu on Sunday or Monday lah. So definitely you akan tengok all the game highlight, and if possible tengok extended highlight punya. Jangan tengok yang goals and extension. So you know which player yang have the more attacking threat, ada involvement in the game. But basically if let's say every day your daily life nak baca pasal fantasy pun is not a good it's not healthy also. Sebab too much information can kill you also. You akan terbasuh dengan ini tips, dengan itu tips. So boleh tengok, just baca boleh, tapi jangan think too much. So if let's say you tak ada balance in the bank, you punya team, so you nak kejar takut harga naik 0.1 ke tak cukup 0.1 0.2, if you rasa player tu tak ada midweek game dan tak ada potential untuk injury, you can transfer him early of the game week, let's say.
Do you do that? Kalau kata tiba ada habis game, tak cukup duit ni, aku rasa aku kena beli sekarang. Would you do that?
I rarely did. Jarang sekali. Sebab pernah terkena, dah transfer awal-awal, during the day tengok pre-match conference manager cakap dia tak fit. So waste of transfer.
Yeah. I mean to take a more recent example is Ben Rahma. You tak rasa tergoda nak beli sebab memang the hype was so much, and you know, from day to day, and then you suddenly see the price start to increase. So we can look at your team later, but I know you ended up not going for him.
Betul later.
So I mean yeah, but okay, so you're saying there's only certain circumstances where we would want to transfer that player awal if you're really short on budget. But it really
Tapi Omar pernah buat ke? Tak pernah kot?
Pernah.
Oh, ada jugalah pernah buat. Okay. Tapi mungkin itu dulu-dulu lah kot. Sekarang maybe tunggulah the rest. Maybe you tunggu sampai press conference semua selesai baru you make decision ke?
Betul, sebab sekarang especially last season because of COVID, kadang-kadang bukannya player injured, the game postpone pun ada. So
Yes.
definitely
betul.
you need to be very careful. Sebab kalau tak habis transfer.
Yeah, last season banyaknya random things going on. Yeah, so yeah. I mean I think historically banyak benda. I mean dulu ada bomb threat lagi, you know, and
Yalah, macam contoh winter time. Tengok match postpone ataupun yalah salji and so on, then itulah I think
last season there was one match where the fans were protesting to the point that the match had to be
Ya,
ended.
game tu lah sebab triple game week tu. Sebab Manchester
Manchester
dan
dengan
Liverpool
Liverpool.
postpone. Masa tu memang sedih oh.
Marah nampak.
Ya, siapa ada 3 player MU, 3 player Liverpool habis.
Yalah nak max out kan.
Oh.
So yeah, that hurts lah.
Itu memang sedih lah. Aku boleh recall that time. So in the end, okay, that's how you go. So just nak tanya, team value ni penting tak untuk you? Ataupun tak kisah sangat harga-harga ni. Kalau kata aku dah untung 0.2, kau tak ada sense of macam ada apa emotional lah. Aku dah buat duit banyak ni kat dia ni. Tak boleh transfer ni. Out. So what do you feel on this kind of thing?
Team value is important, definitely important. Let's say towards game week 30, game week 29 macam tu, 10 last game lah. Kita akan tengok difference between contender and pretender tu dekat team value juga. If let's say kalau player dia just pakai untuk dia dah dapat untung dia jual. So dia tak nak beli balik player tu mahal.
Yeah.
So itu akan effect. So memang team value nak kata penting memang penting, tapi if you too focus on the team value, you tak tengok you punya team based on forms and fixture pun problem juga. You kena balance lah.
Okay. Tanya lain pula sikit. Form versus fixtures. Okay. So which for you come first? Does the form matters atau form matters tapi matches teruk, or fixture mudah tapi play off form?
For me, I lagi prefer form. Sebab form
form tak kisah kalau kata macam ni lah sekarang pilih player Chelsea katalah dia on form tapi fixture teruk ni.
Tak apa, boleh. Last season I think Azmin pun remember lah. Leeds United against Manchester City.
Janganlah kata kau ada Dallas.
Betul, I ada Dallas and I put him in the starting 11. Majority of the others letak dia subs. Even sub ketiga tak ada bagi dia.
Takut Manchester City belasah dia.
Tapi I letak atas dia skor 2. So that's the difference yang masa tu memang naik ranking tinggi sangat because of him. Azmin memang ingat.
if there's one takeaway I want to get from this interview, it's that lessons.
Yelah, tapi we won't do that right logically. Betul tak?
Tak. Okay, Dallas is very special player last season because he play out of position. Even though he's a defender, can concede anytime, but don't forget on his attacking threat. Easily 1 gol dia dah dapat 6 point. So apalah salahnya kalau bolos pun kalau kita dapat skor lagi 2.
Betul lah. Siapa yang ada Dallas tapi letak kat sub memang menangis lah game tu.
Betul.
Aduh.
It was quite amazing lah when you see that kind of thing happen because memang I mean for me my first instinct would definitely to put him in the sub. I mean although you take into account that Leeds United was an attacking team, so they are capable of scoring goals. But even that you worry so much about Dallas, things like takut he gets sent off, because trying to tackle down Mahrez or Sterling, but because he's a defender, kan. But then your focus was that at the end of the day, he was in form, he's playing out position, and he's an attacking threat. So that's why you chose to put him in, and you benefited. Others didn't. So yeah, so well done.
Okay, just nak get your thinking juga when you decide to choose a player lah. Okay, player macam-macam banyak, harga macam-macam, club macam-macam. Betul lah, you Manchester United fan kan, betul tak?
Betul.
So mungkin you ada a bit biasness juga untuk pilih Manchester United ni player, right? Definitely lah, macam Azmin boleh pilih 3 Liverpool player, aku nak pilih 3 Chelsea player kan. Tapi sometimes biasness ni can be boleh memudaratkan kita in terms of pilih team lah, okay? Tapi that biasness tak boleh nak lari lah, okay? So when you decide to pick a player, okay, do you what kind of consideration you pick? Adakah you fikir, okay, adakah orang ni ambil direct free kick, corner kick, penalty kick, ataupun that is not the most criteria. Mungkin you kata 90 minit main, itu yang paling important. So what your take?
Okay, tadi Hafiz pun ada cerita pasal nak pilih player based on set piece taker memang penting. Sebab the more you involve in the game, ambil free kick, ambil corner, ambil penalty, the more chances you can get higher points lah. So definitely siapa yang dalam set piece taker tu will be in the top rank priority lah untuk kita pilih. But at the same time nak pilih player pun macam saya cakap masa awal lagi pasal ownership penting. Pilih play safe juga, ambil player yang ramai orang pilih juga. But let's say you ada 15 player dalam team you, just maybe about 3 to 4 player yang you rasa boleh perform and low ownership. That's your differential punya player. And player yang out of position sangat menarik lah. Yang mana yang dalam fantasy main defend tapi actual dia main midfield. Dalam fantasy main midfield tapi actual main forward. That's the player yang you kena letak dalam watch list and later tengok if fixture okay, you beli that kind of player.
Okay, good input, man. Apa Min, kau nak tanya apa?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. So okay, so because just now Hafiz mentioned you were talking about set pieces, corners, you know, but you know how you have all these websites that also have things like expected goals considered, expected goals involvement, expected, you know, everything is a projection based on how involved they are in the game. So is there something that you also look at? I mean, I guess it leads on to the next question is in terms of your,
kita pun nak tahu lah what sources
your
you
sources.
selalu refer. Kalau macam myself, saya selalu tengok Fantasy Football Scout. Okay, that is my main. Admin mungkin dia banyak tengok Football Hub. How about you?
Okay, as for me, I pun tengok sama macam Hafiz juga, Fantasy Football Scout. I become a member also, subscribe juga untuk yang dia punya
jugalah, baguslah.
So kita boleh tengok dia punya expected goal, expected assist, but that is all the numbers lah, dia punya stats. But sometimes you kena trust you punya instinct juga. Tengok gameplay dia, kadang-kadang statistik, projection point dia, let's say masa
so pada you eye test tu penting lah. Maksudnya tengok game tu penting on top of statistik.
Okay, kalau tak nak tengok game tak apa, kita ada cheat lagi. Kita tengok heat map yang dekat Fantasy Football Scout tu kita tengok.
Just nak tanya, you kalau ada game macam weekend, you tengok semua ke atau you tengok Manchester je cukup, lain tak payah tengok?
Okay, kalau Manchester memang tengok. Yang game-game lain tu tengok. Kalau dia masa prime time pukul 10 ke apa, you just choose one lah. Memang pilih. Tapi kalau
ada game 7:30 malam, you tengok tak?
Sambil-sambil dinner tu boleh lah, tengok lah. Kalau tak ada drama, kalau bini nak tengok ke family lain.
Pukul 12:30 malam tengok.
Dah 12:30 tengok. Kalau game selalu 12:30 game yang prime punya game lah.
Highlight.
Macam hari tu Chelsea lawan Liverpool itu kan. So kita memang tengok lah. Bukan
to viewers, you rasa penting tak untuk kita tengok matches ni sebagai eye test lah. Kita tengok dia ni bagus lah main, lepas tu baru tengok statistik. Ataupun you tak percaya benda tu, tak payah tengok pun tak apa? Depends. Kalau kita ada masa, kita ada rasa boleh nak spend 90 minutes ataupun 120 minutes lah campur dengan half time break semua, boleh tengok. Tapi kalau tak nak pun boleh tengok yang macam yang heat map ke, dia punya statistik je itself pun boleh.
Yeah, because the heat map itself already shows the extent where that player is involved, how far he is in the final third, how many shots they take, nampak lah from there. So it's a bit, memang it's a good summary of sorts if you can't afford to do eye test on all matches. Yeah, because obviously, I mean for me, like if I was nak tengok planning to buy a certain player, so I'm for the next week, I may watch that match.
Okay, faham lah. Macam kata kau nak ambil Sun, kau sebelum tu tengok lah game Spurs, tengok dia okay ke tak.
Tapi in last week's case, it didn't apply sebab Kane tak ada. Lepas tu tiba Kane ada. So the things will change. That one pun kita kena take into account lah. Okay, so Omar dah memang tu lah. So he does look at these things, and he provides us that cheat way of going through, which works. Yeah, like as he said lah, sebab at the end of the day, a lot of the players are like us, you know, like working adults, you know, with a day job, cuma malam-malam tengok bola. Malam-malam tengok artikel
Yelah.
or look
Macam
at some
football
video.
scout yang kau tengok tu jadi macam mana you decide jadi member? Do you decide because you feel memang importance to be a member and get this kind of statistic ataupun how you go join start lah benda tu?
Sebab Fantasy Football Scout previously dia punya team news dengan set piece sticker, dengan dia punya artikel yang dia tengok 5 fixture
The
ahead.
fixtures.
Itu quite interesting memang, macam
Season
artikel
ticker
yang
or fixture ticker macam tu.
betul. Wajib baca lah every week. So
Okay.
dia punya subscription pun tak mahal sangat. So why not just subscribe untuk satu season, then tengok lah.
Yalah, dalam 20 pound macam tu kan.
Betul.
Dah
So
cover
how
balik
long you
lah,
have been member? How long you have been member?
I on off. Pernah member sekejap, lepas tu tak subscribe, lepas tu jadi balik member dalam I think.
So yang tahun you perform ni you jadi member lah.
Yeah.
I think last season, am I right to say that it was quite important? It was quite important to also be a member because you get the information, because there's so much uncertainty kan.
Betul.
Last season.
Tapi ada je yang free article, dia ada je, dia share dalam tu. Cuma if you want to yang heat map tu tak ada. Dia dalam members saja.
Yeah, I guess you nak more insights, definitely you need to be a member lah, which can be a useful tool for you to make a decision as a FPL manager lah.
Betul,
To become a better FPL manager. Bukanlah kata tak jadi member tak boleh. But those statistics will influence your decision lah. Macam Min lah, Fantasy Football Hub, aku tak pernah tapi aku tengok tools dia bagus. Nak senangkan untuk kita buat decision.
Yep. I mean it's a mix of both, because I still look at Fantasy Football Scout because some of the opinions of the managers I'm keen to look at. I especially for me, I don't know about you, Omar, but for me I like to look at, I especially like to read those who I don't agree with.
Betul, jangan dekat komen-komen.
So I tengok counter argument dia, kenapa dia difikir macam ni? Because now why is it so different? You know, and yalah, sometimes we learn some things yang kita may not necessarily see. Yeah, and I'm sure macam Omar, you read a lot. I'm sure you read a lot of the articles kan. There's a lot of useful. But of course sekarang ni macam banyak. There's so many articles compared to dulu. Dulu you mentioned ada frisking the fixtures, and then maybe the match week preview, and then the scout picks. Now dah punya lah banyak. But do you find time to try to read on all, or ada certain you just pick and choose?
Macam saya cakap tadi itu, too much information can kill you lah. You just baca apa yang you rasa perlu, jangan pening pun, because it's just a game lah. But at the same time you nak excel in it, so jangan think too much.
Itu lah baru Min, kita cakap last week, don't overthink. Itu yang aku tukar jadi Ben Rama tu.
Okay, one more question still regarding sources. What about in terms of other media macam videos and podcasts? Is there anything any particular one you make a point to at least take a quick listen or find out a bit more?
Podcast saya tak dengar lah. Cuma kalau dekat team punya official social media, let's say Instagram ke Facebook ke, just tengok gambar diorang training pun dah cukup. Gambar diorang training, you akan tahu, you boleh predict lah whether you be in starting 11 or sub. Sebab kadang-kadang ada tu dipakai beep, ada yang tak pakai. So let's say, itu easy lah tengok lah. Let's say player tu baru.
Itu pada aku research tu, homework kat tu.
Tapi just scroll gambar je kan, kita buka Facebook ke Instagram kan, kita just tengok boleh tahu.
Does that work for Manchester City though?
Manchester City susah lah. Pep punya rotation susah, tapi sometimes you boleh ni sebab player tu
Man
turun
City
training
kira
pun
macam
ada.
Man City kira macam tikam kan. Kalau kena lah. Okay, Min, maybe kita go through dia punya team, Omar punya team.
Yes, I've lots of questions nak tanya team dia ni.
Banyak kita nak celoteh ya.
Okay, come, let's go to the team. The nitty-gritty stuff.
Alright. So, sekejap. Aduh. So, for everyone view, sekejap aku nak naikkan benda ni sebenarnya. So team Omar nama redeem team. Is this your normal nama team ke ataupun tukar-tukar tiap-tiap tahun?
Tak, memang sama.
Memang
Dari
Oh, redeem team ada maksud ke?
Ada. Redeem team tu actually dia daripada USA punya basketball team yang nak redeem dia punya gold medal yang dia terlepas. But as for me, I nak redeem all the prize that being offered.
Bagus. So Omar punya team, redeem team, okay, currently at 250 point overall, rank world 99,000, okay,
So
out of
already below
7.7
100K.
million lah. It's already good. Last game week dapat 69 points, so you can see his team. Maybe boleh walk through sikit your team, Omar?
Okay, my team I start dengan yang paling obvious daripada atas boleh tak striker sebab ini striker yang I akan stick, takkan sub sebab tiga-tiganya memang guarantee starter for their team. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Danny Ings and Antonio. And surprisingly throughout this 3 game week all my striker ada return. At least an assist.
If not every single game return for the past 3 weeks.
100% return. Calvert-Lewin
So berbaloi lah.
3 game 3 gol. Ings 3 game ada first 2 game dia score, last game dia assist je.
Yeah.
Meanwhile Antonio highest scorer. So it berbaloi lah. So far I satisfied with my current striker lah.
Okay.
Okay, good. How about your midfield?
Okay, then my midfield I ada 3 premium midfield. Bruno and Salah basically semua majority kita ada. Meanwhile Son Heung-min tak ramai ada tapi still high ownership juga, and I ada Son ni starting daripada first game week lagi even though dia lawan Manchester City.
So memang you value Son ni highly lah, is it?
Because of the pre-season for Tottenham Hotspur, dia main striker because Kane still uncertainty whether he will be staying still at White Hart Lane or dia pergi Manchester City. But it seems dia stay. So but no matter Kane stay ke tak, Son akan main. So in first game week dia score lawan City, second game week sayang sikit dia blank. But third game week boleh katakan nasib jugalah dia punya free kick tu masuk. Tapi still return.
Okay lah, at least dia return lah. Kalau tak, rugilah Antonio score sebab ramai captain dia last week kan.
Betul.
Still Son deliver points lah.
Betul. Meanwhile, I punya 2 sub midfielder is Brownhill from Burnley. Dia pun main juga. Sekarang ni dah guarantee starter untuk Burnley dengan harga 4.5.
First game dia macam tak main. So risau pula.
Tapi I just stay lah. Lagipun dia harga 4.5. What do you expect from a 4.5 player?
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Then the same goes to Billy Gilmore. Billy Gilmore pun 4.5 defensive midfielder. It's just a backup. Let's say if anything any player tak main, just to get a 2 or 1 point from sub.
But he's still Gilmore still takes set pieces as well, right? So
yes, correct. So ada jugalah dia punya potential returns itu still ada.
So maybe we go through your backline yang obvious kita nampak kat situ adalah no TAA lah, okay? Most of people ada tapi you have at least Liverpool punya rep defense which is Van Dijk lah. So maybe what's your reason lah?
No, but before you go into that, because this is the point I want to take with you, because earlier on you mentioned that you want to play safe and go with the regular, the most popular stuff. But then now here, but the thing is, it has as of this point, it has not yielded any difference. Yeah, there hasn't. Ada sikit lah, but it's not significant. So, but what I guess what made you choose Van Dijk over TAA?
Okay, Azmin and Hafiz, okay. Many people go for TAA because dia ambil corner, dia ambil free kick and dia overlap. Semua dia ambil. But actually previously, I ada make a transfer in game week 3. I transfer in Livramento, I transfer out Tsimikas. Okay, so Tsimikas tu dah cover I punya TAA. Because Tsimikas pun dia ambil corner, dia ambil free kick juga. So with a 4.0 punya harga, game week 1 and game week 2 I dah pakai, dah kenyang dah dapat point dia. So I transfer him out. So that's why my reason I tak ambil TAA. And why I pick Van Dijk instead of TAA, because okay, Van Dijk last season dia adalah major factor kenapa Liverpool tak dapat challenge Manchester City. And this season dia datang balik as a captain, dia ada something to prove yang he try to prove to others yang dia akan balik masa zaman dia on form, masa Liverpool menang title, dia punya attacking threat from corner lah, especially header. And so dia also kalau clean sheet kosong-kosong ke ataupun TAA ataupun Robertson tak ada contribute, dia akan jadi number one punya defense yang akan ada potential bonus point. Sebab dia punya clearance dengan header banyak.
Memang
So dengan 1.0 cheaper than TAA, I can upgrade to 3 premium midfield lah dekat Son, Bruno dengan Salah.
Okay. Alright, how about the rest of your backline then?
Okay, the rest of my backline, okay, I ada 2 4.0 punya ni lah, Amati dengan Livramento. Amati maybe kalau Soyuncu stay main, apa dia
ni lah Vestergaard start main lah.
Vestergaard dengan Johnny Evans kalau main, maybe dia dah kena bench, tapi it seems sekarang dia lagi better daripada Soyuncu. So kalau I jadi Brandon Rodgers, I sub out Soyuncu sebab Soyuncu buat more mistake than Amati.
Yeah, we saw that mistake he made that led to Antonio's goal.
Yeah, correct.
It's quite a horror mistake. So memang Amati actually look better because of that.
But macam I cakap tadi, macam 4.5 punya midfield sama juga macam harga, sama macam comparison 4.0 punya defense, usually you akan letak sub lah Amati dengan Livramento. So usually you akan main 3 defend ke. So I ada Shaw, ada Van Dijk, no matter who is the opponent, I akan bagi dia main. Macam Van Dijk even though lawan Chelsea, tak apa, bagi je letak je atas. Then I ada Ben White dekat sub. Maybe so far dia tak ada return lah, but harga dia pun from 4.5 dah jatuh 4.4, dah rugi 10 sen lah. Tapi
tak apa, simpan lepas ni lawan Norwich boleh.
Betul. Looking at the fixture, semua hijau, definitely takkan lah.
Kalau tak silap Arsenal is on top of the fixture ticker.
Yeah, betul Hafiz. Siapa, okay, I punya recommendation, siapa yang ada Ben White, don't transfer him out sebab you akan rugi 0.1. Just simpan dia, then the moment ada fixture cantik, dia dah free from COVID ke apa, just play him in. Dia pun ada something to prove. He's the most expensive Arsenal transfer this season.
50 million punya transfer fee.
He has something to prove dekat Arteta dengan fans. So maybe dia akan bagi goal ataupun ada return lah. Maybe kalau clean sheet dia akan dapat bonus ke apa.
Okay, good. I think Shaw is like everyone mentioned lah, semua ada pasal Shaw and because of dia punya attacking potential. Goalkeeper Sanchez dengan Foster, everyone pun ada lah, like us.
Betul.
Do you consider anyone else instead of Sanchez semula-mula dulu?
No, I memang Sanchez je. Sebab Sanchez 4.5 fixture Brighton very convincing dekat early season. Even though dia concede pun, I expecting him to get a few save. So let's say 3 to 4 points, okay untuk harga 4.5.
So related to the goalkeeper, so have you always been the type yang kalau hal goalkeeper ni tak kisah the second keeper kat bench tu is a non-playing keeper, as long as you have your first team keeper, it's fine.
Okay, to answer your question, Azmin, it depends. When you want to play your chips, especially bench boost. If you want to play your bench boost in maybe a short time, you need to have all 15 player yang main. You tak nak ada substitute yang will get you 0 point. So for now, for me, I will never use my bench boost chips in the early half of the season. I akan simpan untuk double game week dekat hujung maybe game week 33 ke 34. Tengok how the fixture goes. So non-playing goalkeeper dekat sub is okay for me. 4.0 you dah save a lot of money there to be upgrades elsewhere.
Okay, good. So sekarang aku tanya soalan cepu mas lah ya. As you all know, Ronaldo already return back to Manchester United, and his price is now at 12.5 million and classified as forward. Okay. We also like to know if we may, apa plan kau game week 4 ni? Adakah Ronaldo bermain di fikiran ataupun hype dia lebih ni?
Okay, memang dah agak lah akan tanya soalan tu, very famous question juga, Ronaldo ni, whether compulsory or not. Okay, Ronaldo yang umur sekarang 36 tahun bukan masa Ronaldo masa at his peak lah. And sekarang pun manager Manchester United is not Sir Alex Ferguson anymore. Now Ole Solskjaer. Kadang-kadang dengan tim Southampton hari tu pun tak dapat makan. Seri sebab tu Bruno blank. So to answer your question for game week 4, actually ada consideration, depends on how the international fixture punya outcome. Let's say kalau dia return tak ada injury apa dan sempat training dengan first team MU maybe 1 atau 2 session, and the pre-match conference from manager Oli dia cakap dia akan main, akan dapat debut dia, a very tempting punya player lah, sebab dia akan main dekat Old Trafford in his return lawan Newcastle. So what do you expect more? Tapi for me, honestly, game week 4 not the time to bring in Ronaldo yet, because current season punya buy Jordan Sancho dengan Rafael Varane, dia tak main masa awal-awal. Dia masuk as a sub. Tapi Varane dia tak main first game, dia baru main third game week. So I can see the same macam Ronaldo juga. Maybe dia akan buat debut dia, tapi dia akan masuk minit ke 70, minit ke 60 macam tu.
Wah, tengok Omar dah cakap managers hold your transfer. Okay, tengok confirmkan whether Ronaldo main ke tak. Even tapi you are tempting, right, to bring him in?
Definitely.
At this point in time, I can tell you that about 500,000, almost 600, have already brought him. 500,000 plus managers have brought him in. Dia punya ownership pun dah, I think dah 8% lebih.
Ya,
so far.
8%.
Ya, tak tahu by the time next week dah 15 tu tak tahulah. But of course, obviously some people are using wildcards, and some people are just taking hits. But again, I agree with what Omar said, in the sense that it's still early. International break ni panjang, things can happen. Memanglah kita seronok nak. And this is coming from a Manchester United fan. This guy is a avid Manchester United
Kalau
fan.
Manchester fan dia kata, semua boleh buang lah. Ronaldo first come in.
Tak.
But I do want to go back to that point that you mentioned about he's no longer the player he was. But what about in terms of playing style? Because previously here at Juventus he was playing in the Italian league, which is, I would say, it's a bit slower. It's slower than the Premier League in that sense, and not as much of tackling, not as dahsyat as Premier League lah. But so all this thing for you, would it have an effect when he comes back?
Okay, definitely it will have an effect lah. Macam orang cakap, kalau Messi letak Messi main Premier League belum tentu dia boleh jadi Messi sama macam Messi main dekat Barcelona. But Ronaldo, he already proved yang previously dekat EPL yang he deliver. But in his debut game week 4 after international break, I think hold your transfer first. Jangan ambil lagi lah Ronaldo. Tunggu dulu.
Okay. Itu nasihat dia, tapi belum tentu kita ikut lagi, Amin.
Well, I'd like to project that further. That means that, for me, I think that means that Omar will be hanging on to his Bruno Fernandes pick for now. Yeah, because at the moment he seems to be the one that people are using to fund the Ronaldo transfer. Because you have started seeing those transfers coming in.
So katakanlah saja nak tanya, daripada DCL, Ings dengan Antonio, kalau Ronaldo coming in, who's will go?
Good question. I like this question.
Okay, Fiz. Tengok ni kena tengok semua on form. Tapi kita tengok another thing is fixture. Aston Villa punya fixture quite tough. Next game dia lawan Chelsea. Without Martinez tak main goalkeeper, Bundia pun tak main, dia punya wing. So Ings akan keluar. And surprisingly lah, I give a hint lah. I nak transfer in actually for game week 4 is Lukaku.
Fuh.
Okay.
So Hafiz
you have to transfer kan? You have
I
to
ada transfer.
And the reason is because you
if
think
you
the
bring
defense
in
Villa.
if you bring in Lukaku, siapa yang you kena fund?
Okay, I nak jual maybe Son ataupun Bruno. Tapi I nak simpan Bruno dulu. Maybe I nak jual Son, jual Ings, inkan Lukaku, then upgrade another midfield. Tengoklah macam siapa. Macam maybe Ferran Torres ke, ataupun Everton Demarai Gray ke, ataupun maybe Ben Rama. Tapi Ben Rama pun dia dah form dah. Dia dah orang dah dapat point dia. So sekarang kalau beli pun orang akan dapat 2-3 point.
Demarai Gray orang baru nak catch up. Skor lagi.
Betul. Gray kalau tengok dia punya dengan harga 5.5 dia punya main attacking dia dah macam Harvey Barnes last season. Dia dribble shoot inside the box memang a good buy lah for Everton lah, for Benitez.
Coming to that point about players on form, but at the same time, because you have the international break, which would definitely may cause that break, kacau that form. Yeah, so even Antonio, because even then after this pun dia pun ada Europa internationals, right? So do you think that there are players that you should just stick with? Tak kisah macam mana pun.
Okay, actually kita boleh take advantage of the international break as well. For example, I tadi cakap pasal I nak transfer in Lukaku.
Yeah.
Because of Chelsea lawan Aston Villa. Now hari tu Lukaku lawan Liverpool pun dia walaupun main 10 man, dia bully juga Liverpool punya defense. Pun kena dengan dia. So sekarang ni defense punya Villa punya defense without Emiliano Martinez definitely sangat fragile. And
Siapa keeper dia? Tom Heaton lah kot.
Tom Heaton pun dah masuk.
Tom Heaton pergi Manchester. Siapa backup dia?
Kita pun tak tahu siapa. Memang lauk.
So because even for the start of the season, you saw Villa defense is not as solid as it used to be, right? And I think that's why you're looking at Lukaku as well. But so this is an example that you have of being aggressive, because after the Villa match, the Chelsea's matches are not as easy either, but you don't care because you feel that the Aston Villa.
Masa tu lah dia tukar Ronaldo.
Betul Fiz. Betul.
There you go.
Betul. Masa Lukaku ni just one week punya pan kira nak differential, then the following game week you dah tahu dengan harga Lukaku 11.5.
I like how Omar thinking Aku tak thinking macam ni. Aku selalu thinking, okay, aku ambil player ni, dia kena stay for the next 4 weeks ke macam tu. Tapi Omar tak kisah. Masuk sekarang minggu depan keluar.
So I just want to take a step back, Hafiz, for you. I just want you to absorb that Lukaku is just a placeholder for Ronaldo. I'm so sorry, Hafiz.
Tapi I like the plan lah, Omar. You have a plan. You know what you want, and you don't mind to do this kind of aggressive transfer lah.
No, if let's say you want to stick with Lukaku pun boleh. You jual Calvert-Lewin pula. You transfer out Bruno. Kenapa you nak ada Bruno kalau dah ada Ronaldo?
Fair, tapi DCL punya fixture still strong kan? So
still strong lah.
I don't think you want to take him out lah. Ings reasonable.
Ings memang confirm keluar.
Antonio memang form, so you won't take him out. So if you have Ronaldo, definitely Bruno need to go lah.
But I guess the thing with you, Omar, because DCL again, you're still waiting on his injury news, because he might be the one that you transfer out if it turns out his injury is going to be longer rather than Ings.
Betul Azman. Tengok kita tengok dia punya how's the injuries for Calvert-Lewin. Kalau dia fit to start, kita stay. Tapi let's say kalau dia dah tak boleh main, kita transfer him out lah instead of Ings.
Okay. So a couple more questions regards to your general picks. So one thing I noticed is that you've decided not to risk Manchester City players for now. So can
Yes.
you explain a bit of your rationale, and are you eventually looking at bringing that in at some point?
Okay, Manchester City memang macam Hafiz cakap juga, kalau siapa pilih player Manchester City ni macam main tikam lah. Kita tak tahu siapa main. But for the time being, yang regular starter yang confirm start is only their goalkeeper, Ederson je. So far yang I rasa memang definitely Pep akan bagi
Or maybe Ruben Dias?
Ruben Dias pun sometimes pun dia akan kena rotate dengan Stones dengan Laporte tu. Tapi boleh, Ruben Dias okey, tapi kenapa you nak defend? Defense akan dapat 6 point je. So macam better you go for attacker for Manchester City lah. For the time being I tengok Ferran Torres lah with 7.1 kot, harga dah naik. Dia
Itu pun sudah ada Van Wagen dah sebab
Betul.
dah score 18 points. So Man City you kira dia apa ni cheaper than Grealish. Grealish macam macam confirm main je setakat ni since KDB and Foden not around.
You kena tengok when Champions League started, tengok macam mana Pep rotate his system.
Yeah. So I mean kalau you nak try, maybe Torres is not a bad choice lah at this point. Yang lain-lain you ambil Gabriel Jesus pun you never know. Sekarang form tiba-tiba dia tak main, then you sakit hati. So if you want to take that kind of risk, go ahead lah. I won't deter people lah. Tapi those are the roulette yang Pep selalu main lah. So we have to bear in mind lah.
Ferran Torres dia 7.1. If you compare Ferran Torres price with others like Sterling, Mahrez, Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, definitely you go for Ferran Torres lah. Gundogan okay juga, tapi Gundogan more deep lah dia main.
So kalau based on last season, memang Gundogan comes to the fore lah. Tapi that's last season. Then Pep, well we know Pep by now. He can shake things up. Tiba-tiba je bench, tiba-tiba je start. So yeah. But Ferran Torres does seem to be staking his point for that attacking midfielder role lah. Or pseudo striker, I guess you could call it. Yeah, until he figures it out. Tapi itulah, as you say, until we see the more settled lineup, you will probably stay away from Manchester City for now.
Okay, mate. Any other question? I rasa kita dah banyak tanya dah lah.
Okay. I guess that's it. But is there any? I guess generally, is there any particular team that you're looking at for in the near future? Because just now Hafiz mentioned Arsenal as having at the top of the fixture ticker. At the same time, I think if you look at the stats, Wolves pun they attack a lot. They just seem to be not able to finish and unlucky. I mean, those are examples. But is there any particular team that you looking at in terms of cheap picks, or because premium, I think that your premium spots done maxed out. So these would be your cheaper picks. So is there any particular team? Maybe not Wolves or Arsenal, any other team that you're looking at?
Currently based on, kita tak nak tengok based on fixture, kita tengok form lah. Currently form is West Ham lah. West Ham sekarang high flyer. Antonio, Benrahma, I ada Antonio je. So maybe kalau just to make up on the budget, maybe ambil West Ham, ambil Benrahma.
Okay. Alright. So okay. So the Europa punya involvement tu belum risau lagi, tengok dulu lah, I guess. Yeah.
Europa dia ada beli player juga, apa Croatian punya attacker tu, Vlasic. Vlasic. So maybe akan rotate lah. So I rasa Benrahma dia remind me of Riyad Mahrez masa during the Leicester City title winning season tu. Dengan dia punya from same country as well. So dia akan jadi the next Riyad Mahrez lah.
Because would you agree with Reset macam your pick Antonio, for example? Antonio memang he is a Premier League player, so there's no way that he will be benched for Premier League and played in Europe. Am I right?
Ya, betul. Antonio physical dia memang definitely dia akan main Premier League lah. Europa League tu dia pakai siapa lagi striker West Ham? Saya pun tak tahu tu.
Tak tahu lah, ada new addition. I think 2 player West Ham baru masuk from Serbia. Is it Vlasic dengan
Vlasic Croatia.
So mungkin ada potensi someone drop lah from Bowen atau Ben Rama atau
Yeah.
Fornals lah.
Betul.
But
Antonio.
still we need to wait and see lah. I think after international, this same player will still play. But as the season goes on, you will see some rotation lah when Europa League kicks in lah. Okay. So I think let's wrap it up. Before that, maybe Omar, do you have any final word to
Right.
our viewers atau FPL managers? Apa advice anda untuk this season? Silakan.
Okay, first of all, tadi pun ada cakap apa, thanks again, Hafiz and Azmin for inviting me in FPL Jedi's talk show. It's a really interesting punya talk show. I pun tengok daripada game week 1 hari tu, Azmin ada share the punya link, and I proud juga to be part of this show. So untuk all the managers out there, especially from Malaysia lah, because our kita punya medium pun language pun in Malay campur dengan ni. So I nak hopefully ada manager from Malaysia yang can break through macam Padin last season. Padin dapat overall rank number 7 if I'm not mistaken. So I nak kalau boleh ada lagi season ni someone from Malaysia yang can challenge the top rank in the world lah.
Okay lah, kita push kau lah Omar. Cuba.
Susah Hafiz. Aku nak try maintain top 10k lah. Nak dapat top 100 or top 10 tu tak
Boleh.
tiga malam.
Tak pernah achieve tu 100, 400, 600 boleh lagi.
Yeah. I think the one thing for Omar is that dia tak give up even when he has a bad week, you know, it's not one of those like just move on lah.
Tukar je player tu kalau tak perform.
Just carry on.
Wildcard.
There you go. When all else fails, wildcard.
Okay, thank you all. Hope to see you guys again in episode 5 next week. We'll explore more on game week 4 punya fixture. Thank you Omar for joining our show. InsyaAllah kita mana tahu jemput you sekali lagi, maybe somewhere in the middle of the season, tengok team you macam mana progress.
Okay, insyaAllah boleh.
Okay, Min, your last word.
Yeah, I think it's great. We had a great session. Thank you so much, Omar, for sharing your advice. There's actually quite a few things, even though memang I banyak tengok videos, podcast, but again, I still learned something new. You still had some things that you did that I didn't think you would do, even in your position. I was like, oh, okay, lepas tu terfikir sekejap. You notice I senyap je sebab I tengah fikir. Apa tu buat macam tu pula, boleh pula. So memang it's great. But one thing I think we need to point out is that obviously not every manager strategies are the same. Everyone risk management portfolio berbeza, and maybe in the future we may inshallah try to invite a different manager. He may have a different view. Yeah, but regardless, it's great. Thank you so much Omar sebab datang for our session, and hopefully for the viewers memang dapat some advice that you can take and learn. Yeah, and inshallah all of us be better fantasy Premier League players.
InsyaAllah.
Okay, thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Assalamualaikum.